Manny, Diego, and Sid are back once again for big adventure and laughs, and let's not forget Scrat and his familiar acorn. Hello there to everyone, and welcome back once again for tuning into RealScreenReviews.com. I am movie critic Nick Iacobucci, and our next movie review is Ice Age Continental Drift. This fourth installment of the very popular franchise opened on Friday, July 13th, 2012, and it reunites the voice talents of Ray Romano, Dennis Leary, and John Leguizamo. This film comes to us from the directing team of Steve Martino and Mike Thurmaier, who in their careers have brought us entertainment the likes of Ice Age 1 and 2 and the animated Dr. Seuss Horton Hears a Who. They now revisit a proven and profitable series in hopes of keeping it that way. Now our tale sees our heroes starting another big adventure as the continents begin to move and shift, and it seems that in seeking out his acorn, Scrat has begun the Continental Divide. As a direct result of these cataclysmic events, Manny, Sid, and Diego will be thrown into an even more challenging quest of getting back to where they need to be. Along the way, however, Sid will reunite with his granny, and this unlikely trio will also need to fend off a makeshift band of misfit pirates that will stop at nothing from preventing Manny and the guys from their main goal of getting home. Well, people, I will begin by describing Ice Age Continental Drift as cinematically unoriginal, uninspiring, uneventful, and uneven. This overused and tired old plot of trying to get home, and this time Manny is separated from his wife and daughter, has already been utilized to its fullest extent in this franchise. Also, Scrat searching for the acorn still brings laughs, but he's been trying to get his hands on this thing for about a decade now, and how many times can you go to the proverbial well before it runs dry? There is also a subplot involving Manny's daughter that's about as inventive as an after-school special from the 1970s. Peaches wants to be cool, and because of that regrets leaving genuine wholesome creatures for an unpleasant crowd, only then to realize her mistake. I mean, did any innovation go into this story at all? It is plot points just like this that make so many animated films so inferior to Pixar features. What other studios never seem to realize is that Pixar succeeds because they take the time to create real stories and fill those stories with fully developed characters. It is only after this that they surround these real characters with beautiful animation, and that is where most other studios fail. The newest Ice Age adventure does give us a beautiful and colorful film, but then it's as if those that are watching should just sit back and say, okay, it looks wonderful, that should be good enough. Well, I saw Brave, and I'm not 6 years old, and I want, expect, and demand more than that. Put simply, if Pixar can do it, so can 20th Century Fox. Now, the main problem with the Ice Age sequels is that the animation grows stronger with each installment, but the plot and storyline has grown thin, bordering on anorexic. This is not a linear story being told to us, it is a zigzag story being told that's just a complete mess. Now, the filmmakers try to compensate by adding a slew of secondary characters. Some of these characters are good and some of them are okay, but all they seem to do was add to the muddle and mishmash and never help the story go anywhere. Now, I did enjoy Peter Dinklage as a Captain Pirate, and Wanda Sykes had some good lines as well, but the best addition to this cast was Jennifer Lopez. J-Lo's talent alone brings this love interest to life and credibility, and was one of the few bright spots in the film. Trying to incorporate singing pirates, chipmunks, and Sid's family, well, I was sitting back waiting for them to introduce a kitchen sink because that's about all they left out of this script. You know, something that struck me when I was sitting through this feature, 25 years ago when I was watching movies the likes of Oliver and Company, The Little Mermaid, and Beauty and the Beast, I don't think that I can even name one known actor out of the entire cast, and every one of these movies is great, if not exceptional. However, in most animated films that are released today, there are more recognizable names atop the movie poster than there are in the Poseidon Adventure or the Towering Inferno, and they can't hold a candle to any of the previous films that I just mentioned. Ice Age Continental Drift sports no less than 15 quality actors in voiceover roles, and how sad is it to say that this doesn't even come close to saving it. This philosophy can also extend into a movie like Happy Feet 2 that came out last November. Now, once again, I will give them credit on what a visual treat this film is, and Scrat did have me chuckling here and there. There are some funny lines, and I will compliment the fact that the filmmakers go out of their way to address issues that youngsters should be aware of. Being able to figure things out and solve problems should be at the forefront of even young children, and issues with the climate are something for which we should all be concerned. Also, the target audience of youngsters will most likely enjoy this film because they won't be worrying about plot points or substance. At 94 minutes, I actually thought the best part of Ice Age Continental Drift was the 4-minute animated Simpsons short film that preceded this feature. It displays Maggie in a silent but effective cartoon treat. You know, now that I think about it, Part 4's never really seemed to be that good. There's the below average, well below average, Lethal Weapon 4, the lacking Shrek 4, the worst in the series Die Hard 4, and the absolutely dreadful Indiana Jones 4. Also, even though it may be called Episode 1, Star Wars The Phantom Menace is the 4th installment in the Star Wars franchise and by far the worst, and so is Ice Age Continental Drift in relation to this film series. If Yoda was here right now, he might say, "May the fours be with you," but unfortunately, as I have just pointed out, I don't think they ever are. Nick's real screen review is an extremely weak 1 1/2 stars out of 4, and that's for the newest installment of the Ice Age franchise. And remember, people, I'm not always right, but only when it comes to the movies, and thank you for your attention.